All right. And wanting to get into my discussion about the previous Falcon Winter show, Falcon Winter Soldier episode 3. Uh, well, let's get started, I guess. Episode starts off with this like GRC, um, I guess, advertisement, and they're kind of depicting GRC. It's the good guys. They're doing all this good around the world, helping people that came back from the blip. Um, but we like people inside these camps that like were that the GRC is putting like they're not in very good conditions, and a lot of people get sick, a lot of people go hungry, etc. So they show this commercial, and then like immediately after, you have Cap popping out of like a GRC, or like John Walker Cap, busting out like a GRC um, truck, gonna go rough up some people in a GRC facility. And he's like, "Oh, John, like, like, do you know who I am?" And he's like, yeah, I do, and I don't care." He spits on John Walker's face, and that pretty much like leads them with no leads, etc. They're frustrated, and John Walker's like shoves this guy up against the wall, and like is probably trying way too hard not to hurt him bad. And then the show cuts to Bucky and Sam, and they're visiting Zemo because they need more leads on the super soldier serum. And immediately you have this like kind of ominous thing where Zemo just appears out of the shadows and starts reciting the words that used to control Bucky. He's like, "That's not me anymore." And they have this thing where like they kind of like understand each other, but they hate each other because they both have a similar, they both have a connected background. And uh, then it goes back to Bucky and Sam, and Sam's just like against working with Zemo at all, and Bucky's just like, "Well, let's go through a hypothetical," and they do the thing where all the while he's explaining this, is showing Zemo like basically doing the same thing. So it's like, oh, it's already done. And they show that. Oh, and then I didn't get a picture for it, but there's a funny scene where when Zemo shows up, like Sam freaks out and he's like, "If I may," and they're like, "No." They just shut him down. And then they agree to allow Zemo's help, and then we get to the garage, and Zemo's like collecting some things and picture, and you have this moment where he finds like the mask and he's like he's ready to put it on, which I think it's great that they're trying to deliver his like comic book like portrayal. So he grabs it and they move on, and he has you meet Oznik, which is like kind of like a Jarvis character, or like a Alfred. And yeah, this moment between them where it's like, oh, if it doesn't pass the smell test, give it to them. So this he's been working for them for a while, probably just because he knows them so well. They seem to have a really close relationship. Uh, and then you got the Flag Smashers, Carly Morgenthau, and she's mourning, or she's really sad because Madani is about to pass away, and there's really nothing they can do about it. We all probably lost people this year or this last year. Wait, where is it? There it is. And then we get our first looks at Madripoor, and yeah, they're all having to like go into disguise. Well, Zemo's just being Zemo, but Bucky has to be the Winter Soldier again, and Sam has to be Conrad Mack, the Smiling Tiger, which is of course a reference to a comic book character. And it feels like with Madripoor, they're I'm not sure the time when this was like filmed, but it really looks like they were trying to go for like a cyberpunk aesthetic. And we get this picture of the Princess Bar, which Patch, aka Wolverine, went to a lot, and probably still goes to whenever he gets the chance to. You got this like power broker is watching kind of like a Bioshock type thing. Big Brother is watching, etc. And then we get into the club, and Zemo says they need to meet Selby, and you have the barman. He's like, "Oh, Smiling Tiger, your usual." And of course, like Sam's trying to be in character, so he's like, "Yeah, of course." But he cuts out like some sort of organ out of the out of a snake and puts it in the shot, and so Sam has to drink it. That was really funny. Uh, but they have to meet Selby, but they're not Zemo's not welcome here, so there's a little bit of drama going on, and that's when Bucky has to become the Winter Soldier again. And he has this really cool fight scene where he's systematically taking out everybody, and then we have more Smiling Tiger jokes, and Sam has to well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Zemo wants to trade, information for the on the super soldier serum. He wants to trade Bucky for it. Obviously Bucky's not going to go along with that, but pretend. But but Sam gets this call and he's forced to answer on speaker, and that blows all their cover. And Selby gets shot, etc. And I missed one. Yeah, this whole scene where they're like escaping from the Yakuza, etc. Madripoor gang, bounty hunters and stuff. I can hear my cats howling. But they get rescued by shit, I can't remember her name. Shit. Well, they get rescued by her, um, Carter. Oh, Agent Carter. Yeah, Sharon Carter. My bad. They get rescued um, by Sharon Carter, and she wants to get Zemo. Uh, she wants to get Zemo like for revenge. And they're like, "Oh no, we need him. Please help us." And Sam's like, "Oh, I can clear your name and all that." And she's very dubious of that, and there's some kind of shady stuff going on with her this episode anyway. And she's got like a party going on where she's having a bunch of buyers, and uh, she's selling like uh, paintings and stuff. She tells them, not to get any trouble, and Zemo's like, trouble. And of course, we have like the dance that everybody's talking about. And then Sharon Carter gets the information about Nagel, the super soldier serum guy, and they find him in these shipping containers, and he's all like, "This guy was pretty weird. Like, I'm surprised that he didn't, try super soldier serum on himself. Maybe he just didn't want to. But if he perfected it, or you'd think that he'd want to give it to himself first, to protect himself." Uh, and So they confront him, and he's like, "Oh, well, give me a better offer and stuff." And he got blipped, and uh, well, he was working um for Hydra, and then after the well, I think he was working for Hydra. Then he ended up working um for the United States, and then like he got blipped, and then since the program had uh gotten canceled or whatever, he went to work for the power broker afterwards. And all the bounty hunters find out where they're at. And Sharon Carter, there's a big whole fight scene. Sharon Carter, she kills a bunch of people. Oh yeah, there's what I was saying earlier. Well, they don't get any more information out of him. Zemo kills him, and then they get RPG'd. There's a big fight scene, lots of action, a lot of cool Zemo stuff. He, walks up, puts on the mask, takes out the guys easily, etc. And gets a car, and they were gonna go back to America, it seemed like, but then they have a change of plans. Um, but then it goes back to the Flag Smashers and Carly Morgenthau and this other guy are like staking out this GRC facility, see how to get their supplies. And they take all the guys out, and they're all tied up. But and they find out that like they have like a whole lot of food just stockpiled, and they're not like handing it out to anybody. But it's where things get a bit like complicated because Carly Morgenthau, um, oh wait, we're not there yet. Uh, and it cuts to John Walker and Battlestar, and they're like, "Oh, we don't have any leads, so let's just spy on Bucky and Falcon because he suspects that they broke Zemo out, because they did, or Bucky did at least, or helped him." Oh, and yeah, Sam's upset that Nagel like didn't even um, really refer to Isaiah as like a real person, just the like American test subject. So yeah, he was just treated so terribly, and then have him to be referred to in that way. That's pretty bad. And Bucky and Sam have this altercation where Sam's like, maybe I should have destroyed the shield, and then Bucky's like, well, before you destroy it, I'll take it for myself. And this is where it goes to the Flag Smashers and Carly Morgenthau. Um, she's like, "Don't you understand? We're trying to survive." And then she blows up the GRC facility with people, and it presumably killing them. And I don't know. I'm questioning where Disney's going with this because it seems a little problematic, but this depends on how they sell it, I guess. Because these are just like people trying to survive. They're forgotten by the government, like they're starved, they're dying disease, they're not getting the medicine they need, they're just being shoved in these camps, and she's angry, understandably so. uh, so I'm not uh, holding the verdict on it just yet because the GRC is definitely not innocent in all this either. So they find out Madani passed away. Um, so they go wherever they're at. I forget the town or the city. I mean, and Bucky notices the Kamoyo beads on the ground. He's like, "Oh, I got to go check something out." And so we get this reveal. That's Wakanda, cameo in it, which I'm sure she's gonna play a part in this next episode that we're about to watch. Um, but she's here and she's like, "I'm here for Zemo." So seems like they're gonna try to take Zemo, and I'd imagine that like Bucky would have a lot of respect in what Wakanda wants. Considering how much they've helped him. But we'll see. Yeah, that's the last bit. Overall, I really liked the episode. Um, the bit with Carly Morgenthau where she blew up the thing made me feel a bit uncomfortable. Um, but our heroes have been shown killing a bunch of people, and the GRC is not really innocent either. But um, I'm just curious what kind of message they're trying to send with this, because if it's like saying that like people protesting or is just like bad, or people uh doing that's bad, which killing people is bad, but like if it's like an Antifa allegory, then yeah, that's bad. But we'll see. um Anyway, I'm gonna get off of here, and if you're watching on Twitch, please hit the follow button. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit like and subscribe. Thank you very much.